that's some of the things, you know, that you find out about different people. What started you off coin collecting? Well, whoops, I'm sorry. I saw my first coin. What do you want to say about it?
You know, the first thing I ever picked up and kept were the zinc pennies.
The zinc pennies?
That was, you know, if I got those, I would save those. And I can remember from even earlier when there were still Indian heads and, well, I remember the Indian head in the chain. I mean, you know, that was there. But everything was blank. That was just a memory of something that was on the end.
Yeah, so attracted you as the unusual things? Hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to leave over here. I left all my clothes over here. You're supposed to be watching.
Yeah.
Then we got them started.
Oh, that was a good catch.
Was those guys on TV?
The guys on TV.
Yeah, coin vault and stuff like that. I saw that, well, not so much coin vault, but I saw Morgan dollars, and I thought Morgan dollars were really cool.
Loosen. There we go.
Because I had an uncle that used to give it to me for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
He either give me a Morgan or a freestyle, and I didn't know to differentiate really between the two. You know, I didn't look at it.
That's what I'm
But I was up to 13, and I thought I had something that was kind of unusual until I went to Wyoming.
I can remember as a kid getting Franklin $50 for different events, Christmas and birthdays. That was way out, of course. I'm a 1958 baby, so some of those things weren't around, like Morgan dollars you didn't see anymore. But I still had my first coin. And I collected it in 1967, so I was 9. What happened was, in school, they would have these scholastic readers, and you could get these cards, and they would have different themes to them. And a lot of times they had stamps, and a lot of times they had coins. And this is a coin from India. And I kept it all these years. But of course, I didn't keep collecting way back when, because all those nice coins that I collected back then that had silver in them, of course, 50 cents, boy, that was great. I went and spent that right away. So I never collected that. So anybody else have anything to share about?
Yeah, I was given an old mirror bag with several coins in it from my grandfather. And there was a 1854 $50. There was a barber dime, very nice barber dime, but he had a hole in it.
Oh.
And a very worn, but still, it was an 1877
1877 Indian.
Indian, yeah, I still have that.
You still have that?
I actually have all 3 of them.
All right. Huh? See, I'm not the only one that saves things like that. So as time goes on, I didn't have any expendable money until after we probably were married for, it was about 86. So we're married about 10 years or so. Moved to Beale Air Force Base and went to Excelsior Coins and started my collecting again. So we're eking out little pieces of money. Does anybody remember the first shop they ever went to? Yeah. What was the first shop?
You know, the first shop that I ever went into, I'd saved my money to go into the shop to buy stuff. It was in a suburb of Chicago. And I remember I was saving my money, and that was when the blacks and whites were fighting a whole bunch, you know. And 2 of the brothers went into the coin shop trying to rob him, and he pulled out his pistol, and they were faster than he was, and they killed him, and I never got to go in and buy my coins. There's a memory for you.
That's a memory.
Stories that I do.
That was an exciting story.
Yes.
Excelsior Coin is still around, by the way. I've seen them at different places.
The guy at the coin shop is not.
Kid had to add in the newspaper. My mother took me to Woolworths, okay, in D.C., and they had coin shops in the stores at that time. And I actually got the commemorative of the Columbian Exposition $50. And it was one of these things they put in the box, they were wildly circulated and all. That was like a birthday present, I got to go down and pick one, but now mind you, that was early 60s.
Yeah.
But they used to put coin shops in some of the big department stores.
Yeah.
And that's the first one I ever got that I remember going to buy a coin and somewhere was from Woolworths. I think it cost $1.
You still have it?
Oh yeah.
You still have it?
I still have it, yes.
Should bring it in for show and tell
Yeah.
First coin I ever got. Okay, who started off wanting them all? Me.
Oh,
Started off with Morgan dollars. Who talked about Morgan dollars that they started off with? Was it? Yeah, it was Dave. Yeah, I started off, I thought, oh, I'll collect all of them. Sure, you can. Yeah.
We did want to eat, so, yeah.
So when I started looking at, how am I going to get an 1895 Morgan dollar? That was it. I got away from Morgan dollars. And then these beautiful things came out in '86, and I started collecting those. So I hear a lot of people say, what the heck are you collecting bullion for? There's no collector values. I like to design them. I have a bunch of them. So, anybody else fall into that? It's not really worth anything, but you just love to use it.
That was when I started, talking about the ones on television. It was the Morgan dollars and the fact that you could buy a whole series of them that were, I didn't know a high grade from a low grade, but they all had the, what the heck's the common word? No.
Average circulated?
No, uncirculated coins.
Oh, they run BU? BU,
Yeah.
we call them BUs back
Yeah,
then.
but they weren't BUs, these had the, I want to say 9, but of course, that's,
Oh, I had a number to it?
yeah.
I know Excelsior pointed out a lot of my money because I was buying mortgages. Of course, I'm buying the very common ones. It's like,
Well, Jimmy doesn't really collect any coins or anything, but she sure likes walking liberties.
well, you don't collect them, but you like walking liberties.
And she's got to have one every year.
Every year? Do you have one for every year now?
But she doesn't collect coins.
Okay. What's that word for? Is that like a euphemism or something like that? Something
You need it.
you need this.
It's just a slight addiction.
So after kind of a little history we're going down, for me anyway, is we moved from California to North Carolina. And Polk's Coin Shed and Stamp Shop is right outside the main gate of Goldsboro, North Carolina. And the first person I met, that was really strange because when I came here, I ran into him again, was Bob Holdley. I went to a coin show up in North Carolina in Raleigh, and he was there. I can't remember the name of the arena or fairgrounds or something like that.
Yeah,
and
okay,
I walk in,
maybe.
and he happened to be the first guy in. Like kind of when you walk into our show, usually certain people in the right there. And I walk in, and he goes, "Hi, can I help you?" And I was like, "I just got here. Let me look around." And he was like, "Okay, don't." I guess he thought I was getting mad at him or something like that. I was just flabbergasted because he was kind of aggressive. Can you imagine Bob Holdley being aggressive? Anybody remember Bob Holdley?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Everybody liked him.
Yeah, everybody liked him, but that time, maybe it was me being a newbie in the coin collecting. So I still have that coin too. It's a Canadian $2. That came out in 1996. So still hold on to some of those things. Anybody else remember any things like that where you run into someone later on, you come along and you see, met this guy in North Carolina, and then 3 years later we move out here and I come to a coin club meeting in 2000 or so, and there's Bob Holdley, and I'm like, "You look familiar." He goes, "You do too." So, I must have really made an impression on him. Anybody else have any things like that they remember that they saw someone from? I'm good, Alex.
I had an interesting story about Bob Holdley. He's a coin diehard, and I was trying to sell him a $10 gold certificate. Didn't get the job done. So I got a hold of a $100 gold certificate. I says, Bob, you realize if this was a $100 coin, it'd be anywhere 50, 75, $100,000? This one here is something like 28 or $3,000. With that logic, he bought it.
I have to say, when we ordered our 50th anniversary coin, he was the only one that had it. It was about an ounce and a half of gold. And it was in his collection when he passed away. I don't know what happened. There was only one. It was unique. What was your experience, Larry?
I was going to mention, probably just about the time, I hadn't even really started collecting coins yet, but I grew up in Missouri, and then my grandfather, grandmother lived in the Osho, which is probably 10,000, 12,000 people, and I'd go down and spend a couple of weeks in the summer with grandfather and them, and run an errand, so we go into the bank one day with him. One thing I remember too, that's back when they had the big paper money. I remember those big wallets that they used to have, big enough, so it would fit inside. But anyway, one of the errands was stopping at the bank, and so while we were in there, they introduced me to, I don't remember his first name anymore, but Mr. Harms. He was the head teller in this bank, and he had like a $100 bill, so he showed that to me. That was a really big deal. I was probably 12 or 13 or something at the time. But then, that would have been back in, I don't know, early 50s, something like that. And in probably 1978, 79, I was stationed up at Loring Air Force Base in Maine. Limestone's the closest town. Caribou, Maine is about 10 miles away. You're 40 miles south of the Canadian border. And we had a little coin club there. Probably had 15 members or something like that. But we did a show once a year. And so one of the shows I went to while I was up there, just going around looking at the different things at the different tables, and I ended up talking to this one guy, and somewhere somebody said his name, and I said, "Oh, Harms." I said, "I know Mr. Harms in the Osho." And he said, "Yeah, that was my dad." So here we are, those many years later, at a little coin show in Caribou, Maine, to run into somebody like that. That was incredible.
There's something that throughout your life you run into these little things, and sometimes it's all about coin collecting. There's something in common that you find out. These things go on. Okay, I tried for an 1853 set, and when I got to the dollar coin, I went, I can't do that. Anybody else try to make a complete set of something? Although like a year run of something that they completed? Anybody ever complete a year run?
I didn't do a year run, but I did all the coins at Carson City.
Oh,
That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Okay. The 1870 seated Liberty dollar. It's the only one that a normal guy could afford, and I like it. It's a VG10, I believe, okay? From the Broken Mint in Carson City.
Oh, yeah.
Broken dollar guy.
Yeah, the broken dollar. Yeah.
Okay, and then I got the trade dollar and all that, and of course the 20-cent piece, which I had slabbed, which they detailed it, and they said it was an AU, so really I'm not that mad. I'll take that detail.
What interests me is this, of course, has the arrows and rays on the quarter and the arrows and all the other denominations when they reduce the silver amount because silver went up in value, so people were melting the coins because they were worth more to melt than they were for face value. So they reduced it that year. Then they do something, what was it, 73, they put it back up again, so they put arrows on it again in 73. But there we are again. I never completed that set.
Why 1853?
Just because of the arrows. The arrows were unique to me. Something that point in history.
If you try and buy the half dollars, particularly 1851 and 52, are almost impossible to find.
Really?
It's not a matter of money because they put them in kegs, wooden kegs, and exported them. And then they melted them, made coins, and paid us. and there were countries like England and Germany and France, our usual friends, were making money off of us. So.
Well, unfortunately, this is dragging on, so I'd like to get through this really quick. I'd like to make a conversation, but this is really good that people are actually, coming back and telling us different stories. You find things out like that. Well, thanks. So I learned a lot. From all these different people, from all of you, continue to learn, find things out all the time. Also learn to buy the book. Everybody says buy the book before you bought the coin. I didn't start out that way, but I think I learned a little bit along the way. Good old Walter Green's, that was a purchase over at Long Beach one time. Really good price too, I don't know why. Okay, got serious about George. Larry got me hooked on doing some Washington quarter stuff, and then I couldn't stop. Well, that's one set I completed. I don't have all the varieties, but I have the complete set of Washington quarters. So I did finish something. Study. A lot of things. Cherry pickers, getting into different grading. Sold off some stuff for better stuff. 1853 D, 1853, 1938 D, past 1938 proof. So I got some of the nice ones there. Anybody else have a big collection and then start to sell it off so you can get some nicer ones? Yeah, John and I have been talking about this back and forth. Got errors. Al Dreyer isn't here. We could have had an error conversation. So I started getting some errors, looking into errors. Old error stuff, 55 double die, 72 double die, 2009 double die for Liberty. By the way, all the coins I'm talking about I have here. I brought them all in today. Three-legged buffalo. 42 over 41. Boy, the mint was cheap back then. Boy, they used things over and over again to make these things like that. Anybody else have any error coins that you'd like to share with us, or things that they have? You have a three-legged, don't you? Don't you have a three-legged buffalo? Yeah, three-legged buffalo. We're here. There's a little story I can tell you about that. A friend of mine who's since passed away said, I'd like to find out how much these coins are in this cigar box. So I said, okay, well, Larry, you look through it first, and then if you find anything, let me know. So I don't think it was an hour. An hour, he calls me up and goes, I'm coming right over. Why? He goes, you got to see this. Brings this box over, and there's this buffalo with some bean paint on the front of it. You flip it over, it's a three-legged buffalo. Oh. So I soaked it in some acetone to take the paint off. Of course, it's real shiny underneath that. And we did sell it for like $900 for it. So my friend, who was actually dying of cancer, got a $900 check from one of the coin dealers here in town. Just, it was in this cigar box. Never had anything happen like that to us before.
Probably things you just never got to go through because he was a coin collector. And he had no idea he had a three-legged buffalo.
When somebody once started a show, they had a case of buffalo nipples, and one of the ones that was encased was a three-legged buffalo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because they put bags of them and they just throw them in, and they actually got a three-legged buffalo that way.
In lucite? You mean when they put it in lucite?
They aluminum.
Oh, aluminum.
You know, the aluminum
Oh.
thing when they push it in, it's a case coin.
Yeah.
Some show, somebody had to hit it with a three-legged buffalo.
Wow.
Did anybody else here pick up one of the Wisconsin error coins with extra leaf? Because they got distributed in Tucson. You picked one out. Was it just in circulation? Yeah, I got one too. Actually, my daughter was fortunate enough to
You still find it every once in a while. Usually they're AU or something like that. Okay, some newer stuff, some Kennedy, triple die uppers, rotated dies, that's about how far that's off. I can't remember now.
45, I think.
I have it here to look at.
Hey, Mark.
There you go.
Mark.
I got a story on that three-legged buffalo when I was promoting our coin club up in Phoenix. I was, passing around the flyers and stuff, and I had gone by a table and I was looking at some stuff. I handed her a flyer, and her husband had passed away, and the guy was helping her sell. She had a 3.5-legged buffalo. You don't see those very often.
Really?
And she wanted $375 for it. And I was going to come back and buy it, and I got talking about stuff, and I forgot to go back. And then I come home, I looked at the grade sheet, and there's $650.
Oh, man.
And so I called the guy that runs the coin club, tried to figure out who these people were that were there, because I wanted to get that coin. But it's like the old saying: you buy it when you see it. Otherwise, and I haven't seen another 3.5-legged anywhere.
Is that a 36? Because one of them's 37D, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also a 36 or 36D. 36D?
Is that the 3.5 leg one?
It's a 3.5 legs, yeah. And you don't see that many of them. I'm kicking myself now. I should have just bought it because it was unusual and I never saw one. I said, oh well, you don't buy it when you see it.
Missed opportunity.
It's
So here's the extra leaf, high and low. If people don't know what they look like, the different ones with the regular one on the bottom. And still regionals aren't immune. Remember that time when it came out in 2008, they had to reverse it in 2007. And these are the differences. 2008 has a little bottom to the center there. And I didn't realize that there were other differences.
Yeah,
The
they're
stars and this little tilde here, they're different. I have those two if you want to look at them closer.
I ordered 2 of them from the mint. I ordered early and I got the ones that were the non-common ones, the ones they left over died prior.
I'm going to kick myself. My brother was visiting from Pennsylvania, and they were selling them on the Home Shopping Network. He found it, and he goes, hey, look, you can get an MS-70, and I don't remember the price, but it was cheaper than you can get them now. Or MS-69. I said, well, let's just buy some MS-69s. Let's not bother with that. Well, we waited too long, and they were all gone. So I went up to Tucson Coin and Autograph, and I bought one from Brett. But we could have got MS-70 one really cheap. Missed opportunity again. Even presidents have errors. Nothing on the edge. Remember the edge lettering? Boy, do they ever presidents have errors.
I got all excited in 2010 when the new issue of Mexico came out. And that was when they came out with first the plastic bills,
Yeah.
and it was all about the revolution. And I have a terrible time trying to see double dimes. Even with a glass, I have trouble. So I got a hold of this coin. There's a distinct double die. Cool, great. And I checked it. They did it deliberately, and the whole issue was made of it. And I thought I finally had one I could see with the naked eye.
Oh well.
In Canada, that's nickel. I think it's 2006. In Canada, where you look at the beaver, he's got more feet than he should.
Oh yeah?
But it was the master hub was double.
Oh,
so every single die made from the master hub is double. So the entire year is double.
I have some ups and downs. I thought, oh boy, I bought this Seated Liberty dollar. Turn it in, what happens? Clean. So you look at it and you go, you think it's not clean, but yet then when I brought it around and people pointed out to me a learning situation or learning environment or whatever, then I saw, yeah, it really was clean. I understood that. But then I sent in a $3 gold princess, and the coin shop dealer that sent it in for me says it's clean. It's obviously clean. I said, okay, I'll pay the extra money to add the attributes because I just wanted the slab. I come back and he goes, Mark, you never believe it. It came back solid grade. So sometimes you win, sometimes you don't.
How did you find that $3 bill?
Pardon?
Where did you find that $3 bill?
It was actually a present bought for me.
Okay.
Given to me for my mother bought it, right?
I think
My
so.
mother bought it for Easter or some crazy thing.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I remember that year because I was commenting it was a golden Easter that year. Some other neat stuff. I just love the older designs. So yeah, the Liberty there, the Oregon Trail, and that's that $10 Indian I bought a couple times ago. This one was special to me because it was something that was given to my grandmother's sister, my aunt. She held it on to it all those years. And she's held it on and gave it to me, especially for me. She was also my godmother, too. So I have that one, too. I saved it. I'm not going to give it up. but it's a enclosed 1873 $5 gold piece. But of course, it's cleaned, because I sent it in to have it slabbed, and it came back with that. Oh, okay. $20 gold pieces, remember when they came out with these? Back then? I was so mad. This was in a box, sitting on my front doorstep.
Same here.
Yes.
No doorbell ring, nothing. And a lot of people complain about that. We've seen in movie news and coin world that people are complaining about how you have this $1,000 coin sitting in a box at the front doorstep. Anybody else, you ran into anybody else ran into anything like that?
Actually, I wasn't even home. I was away, and they had an office in the development. They hadn't still building houses, and somebody just took it and dumped it in the office and was sitting back there. No one knew what the hell it was. And I did find out, so when I got back home, I'd go to the office. Oh yeah, it's in the back on the desk, you know, just sitting
At least
there.
it was put away. It wasn't
Yeah,
sitting
so when someone had seen it, knew it was away, and they took it up to the office. So yeah, I got lucky on
Funny
that.
thing is, in 1968, when you started the proof sets again in Minnesota, you had to sign for it.
Anyway, just think about how quick it is. If you want to see it, I have a regular $20 gold safeguard and this one too. I think originally they were supposed to be thick like that, weren't they?
Yes, right.
When they first started out. Oh, of course.
So,
And I'm tricky.
going back to that other slide. So the bottom one, that's the bottom one's in 2009.
Yeah.
And that top one, is that 1907?
Yeah, 1907. Yeah.
And then, there really wasn't too many of those made, right?
Well, especially not that one, because that's a high relief.
High relief, yeah.
I don't have a high relief one. Mine's a plain old MS-63.
That's a nice comparison.
Circulation in 1907.
Pardon? I'm
I think
sorry.
they need 11,000 the high relief ones.
11,000 for circulation. Yeah.
That's a really nice comparison of the high relief.
Yeah, so I wanted to have them do two different high reliefs together. Star Trek. Hey, I'm a Trekkie. I can't help it. I started when I was a kid. I used to stay up at 10 o'clock at night on Sundays trying to watch Star Trek with my parents who saying, go to bed to school. But Tuvalu came out of Star Trek. There's a Canadian one that I like to have. I have that one. That's a quarter. And this is what the Canadian Mint put out, even a gold one. Which I'd like to have the gold one. Too much premium over top.
And they don't do layaways.
So this wraps it up. You know, everybody has a different story. You learn from different people when they talk about different things, different conversations that come up. So another thing I do is I collect cactus. So just by cactus flowers, I end up with something different than just coins and maybe Star Trek.
Because the cactus
A
is
couple of flowers that bloom. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Probably not, because we're just talking about things. I'm not trying to impart any wonderful knowledge to you all. So. Well, that's it. I'm sorry I took up so much time.